So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront, and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. How are you? Happy Monday. Come on in here. Good to have you here today, man. The weather is getting so good here where I live in the Daytona Beach area. It makes me want to sit inside and do a podcast. What? So you're writing the story of your life. As you live out your day, you're writing the story of your life. And I don't know what it's going to be. You've already written part of it. You can probably look back on it and say, good, bad, whatever, I don't know. But you're writing a new one today. Your future is up to you, and other people are watching your story as well. But sometimes, if you get confused and you get frustrated, it's because, well, in the rules of writing a story, you have a couple of the words off. A little bit, just out of order. We'll talk about that today. It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com. How are you doing today? I am awesome. Thank you for asking. I sure appreciate you being here. Really simple mission. I believe that you have something you're passionate about. It might be buried deep down inside. You might be on pause. You might have had kids. You might get married. You might have a job. You might not have enough money, whatever it is. It's on pause, and you'll go back to it someday. Like when you retire, you'll do the stuff you love to do. No, we don't do that. So the mission of this show is to inspire you to figure out what you're passionate about, face your passion, and go do it every day. It's kind of simple. And then the things we talk about on this show help you get that done. Boom. Makes sense? Easy peasy. A long time ago, in baby DJ school, that's what I call it. It was actually a broadcast school. There were two that I had a choice to go to. One was in Minneapolis, St. Paul. The other was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now, let me ask you a question. Ladies and gentlemen, you're 18 years old. You're a man, or a boy man, or man boy at the time. And you have a choice of going to Minneapolis, St. Paul, or Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where, well, you know where I went. We'll leave it at that. But nonetheless, I went to baby DJ school because I was going to be a DJ, and I wanted to go to school to learn how to play a record. Well, that's more than that, I guess. But you know what they did? These professionals in this school that ran this school when I was just dreaming of being a world-famous, dominating disc jockey, they said, you got to learn journalism. What? Have you ever been to college? Ever been to school? Ever been someplace? And well, first you got to do this. Maybe you work at a corporation. And you just have your job you want to do, but they say, come to this class, you have to learn about this stuff. It has nothing to do with what I want to do. Journalism? Are you kidding me? I'm a disc jockey at 18 years old. I look down my nose at journalists. But they maybe learn it anyway. And then you can fill a whole bunch of books with all kinds of information about pretty much the 5 things that drive a journalist. So let's start here. Let's start with the 5 words, the ones that you get wrong. I got wrong. That guy got wrong. Most people get wrong. But it's right if you're writing a story. But is it right when it's writing your story? So here's the basis of it. Who, what, when, where, and why. Say it fast if you want to have some fun, okay? Who, what, when, where, why. It makes sense. If you know who you're talking about, writing a story, what they're doing, when it happened, where they are, and why they did it, that would make sense, right? Now, in the world of personal growth, that why thing is at the end. So who, what, when, where, and why. Most people teach you to start with your why. No, we don't do that around here. Sorry, y'all wrong. I got it right. Who, what, when, where, why. We'll talk about that here in a sec, okay? If you know that information, though, you can write a complete story, including the story of your life. So call me a little silly, call me creative, call me a guy who thinks out of the box. I'm like, well, if we could sit down and write a story about somebody else, why don't we sit down and write a story about ourselves and then go do it? Huh? So the years passed, and I began to move some things around a little bit. I got in a different direction in life. And I said, well, wait a second. I don't always start with the who. Do you? And then I fall prey to all the advice people give me, and I start with the why. Well, that didn't work either. And eventually I just came to the conclusion that what is the most important word. Because if I know what, pretty much everything follows. It really doesn't matter, does it? So I moved a couple words around. You know, I actually lied on this podcast. I did. I'm sorry. I did. I said you have 2 words out of order. Evidently, you have 3 words out of order. I just read my notes here. Okay, great. We'll talk about that. Okay. My goodness. What, why, when, where, who? Okay, let's break this down just a little bit more.
Thinking about refreshing the carpet in your home? Now's the time to do it. For a limited time at the Home Depot, get 10% off installed carpet projects on trusted brands like LifeProof with pet-proof technology, Home Decorators Collection, and Traffic Master. Plus, with installation starting at just 49 cents per square foot, upgrading your space is more affordable than ever at the Home Depot. Offer valid June 11th, 2026 through June 28th, 2026. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
What is your destination? Your specific change to what you want to see in your life, right? Why? Let's call that your fuel. The deep reason that you're going to keep doing what you're doing to get what you want. When? Your timeline. Both starting timeline and finishing timeline for your transformation. Where? Your stage, the physical and mental space where your story unfolds, if you will. And who is your cast? It's you. Who's involved? The person you're becoming, the people you're going to be hanging around, all that kind of stuff. So you see how it all comes together like that. So let's start. And I know this is like doing a math problem on the radio, okay? Journalists do this. They write a story by saying who, what, when, where, why. We, in making our lives better, do it the other way around. What, why, what do I want to do? Why do I want it? When do I want it? Where's it going to take place? And who's involved with this? Obviously, it's us. So how do you do this? Well, the first thing is you want to define your what with specificity. Write it down, specific area of change. Specificity is everything. If you don't make it concrete, it's not going to work. Don't say, I just want to be healthier. Define that. And this is probably the biggest mistake we see around here. Number 2, you want to create a question roadmap, if you will. You want to spend a minute on each of those words, the what, the why, the when, the where, the who, and just a minute, maybe a couple of seconds even, and just kind of work through them, I suggest, in order, and just say, okay, so what do I want? Why do I want it? When do I want it? Where do I get it? And who do I have to work with? Thirdly, here it comes. I know this is the one we all know, everybody talks about, because Tony Robbins stood on a stage years ago and you must take action. Massive action. Well, around here, we're humans, so we just call it take massive imperfect action. Clean up your mess later. What's number 3? Take action. What's one concrete step that you can put on your calendar this week? You can visit, you can research, maybe your wear, something like that. You can contact maybe one person who can help, but don't wait for the perfect plan. Because when you sit around waiting for the perfect plan, things don't always get perfect. And people fight me sometimes because I actually will tell people, let's design an average perfect day. I said, what do you mean average? I want perfect. I said, well, good luck with that. We're just going to assume some days are going to be perfect and some days are not going to be perfect. So if we average out pretty good days, we get a pretty good life, right? I know, it's like common sense. So you're beating your head against the wall for perfection and you know you can't do it. So why not average it out and have a pretty good life, right? Here are the words. What? Why? When? Where? Who? I got to tell you, I was questioning whether I could go one step lower. I just thought, listen, when you grow up as a baby DJ and you're a young man with kind of a tenor 2 voice, all you really want to have is baritone or maybe a bass voice. I never got to bass, but I did get to baritone. That was pretty awesome. I should play you some tapes when I was 18 years old. You say, who's that? Hey, listen, you can send me an email if you'd like to, if you want to connect. Some people do want to, from time to time, say hello or tell me that I pronounce certain words wrong. Like, I know I did it on purpose. It's not true, but it happens. Scott@dailyboostpodcast.com is where you can get a hold of me. And if you're struggling with planning your day, I suggest you get my Perfect Week Planner. You can hit me up on Instagram @FaceYourPassion and just type in planner or go to perfectweekplanner.com and download it. And if you'd like to, you can come back tomorrow because I will be here like I've been for the past 19 years. Crushing your goals and the mistakes you're making. 90% of the people do this. Tomorrow, it ends with you.